In fact, the most severe drought in 40 years. We were in difficulties. And some good men of God suggested that we must pray for rain in Kenya. Remember? We went to Nyayo Stadium and prayed, lifted up our voices. And you know what many people said? Look at these ones. You know? They are going to pray for rain in Nyayo Stadium. Look at what God has done. We've had 3 years consistent of rain. Today in the morning, my mother came to see me from the village. And when I was talking to her, she said, do you remember she had planted some sugarcane? Oh, the sugarcane now is inside the water. The whole place. It's been raining. That was my mother this morning. Look at what God can do. Our maize production has gone up from around 40 million bags a year in 2022. Last year it was 64 million. This year we are expecting 75 million bags of maize. For those of you who are coffee farmers, you know our coffee prices have gone up from 60 shillings a kilo to now 120, 130 shillings a kilo, right? And so is our tea. And so is our sugar. We've been importing sugar as a country for the last 40 years. But we've carried out reforms in that sector. We've licensed 4 new sugar mills. We have moved production in the last 2 years from 500,000 metric tons. Last year we were at 815,000 metric tons. By next year, God willing, we'll get to 1 million. And in 3 to 4 years, Kenya will be a net exporter of sugar. And so I have every reason to be proud of the God I believe in. Let me give you one more example. You know, we have been discussing the subject of housing as a country for the last, I don't know how many years. Housing was in the NAC manifesto. It was in the KANU manifesto. It was in the Grand Coalition manifesto. It was in the Jubilee manifesto. In this election, it was both in the Azimio manifesto and the Kenya Kwanza manifesto. But nobody has dared to implement it. Of course, I've had to earn a few names, Zakayo included. But I can confidently stand before you today. We are building 170,000 housing units across Kenya. We are building 400 markets for our mama mbogas. We're doing hostels for our students. I was in one such development yesterday in Mombasa. And we have hired 320,000 young people in those spaces, going to 650 in a couple of months, and 1 million people will be working in our housing development by next year. We're not only creating jobs, we are moving people away from the indignity of living in slums. Listen, in 2023, I invited the Prime Minister of Singapore. He came to Kenya. I had a thorough conversation with him. Why?